Okay, hello everyone. As usual, if you could wait a bit for me to set everything up and we'll get started. Okay, all seems good. So, let's look at the daily. Actually, no, that's a lie. Let's look at news. We've got a bit of news coming out today. Actually, hold on 1 second. Okay, let's look at news. Sorry about that. So today we've got a few numbers releasing, nothing really crazy, nothing to write home about. But we do have US continued jobless claims, which is somewhat important. Also, US initial jobless claims. So these two numbers are, I want to say, somewhat important. Had they have released during market hours, say for example at 10 a.m. New York time, so top of the hour, they would have likely had an impact on price action. That not being the case, is doesn't really mean that much. So what we can see basically is the numbers they're not overly positive, they're not overly negative. I'd say the US continued jobs claim is, decent, but again, nothing to write home about. And then the US initial jobless claim came in bang on the forecast and slightly above the previous. Cool. Top of the hour, we got European Central Bank Alderson speaks. If you're trading Euro markets, this may be important to you. If you're not, then you're probably like me, you don't really care that much. EIA nat gas change, again, somewhat important if you are trading nat gas, but apart from that, I don't think it's going to have a big impact on the S&Ps. US wholesale sales month over month may have an impact. We can see that the forecast is lower than the previous. So, if you see a little red number here, you could probably expect that market would react quite negatively to that, considering that it would be a show of weakness from the US economy. But I wouldn't deep it too much. Then at 4:30, so that is 11:30 New York. I'll probably be out of the market by then. Um, but we've got the 4-week bill auction and the 4-week bill bid to cover. And then, a bit of US consumer credit. No one cares about that. And then some Japanese news. Yesterday, so as you'll see, for those of you in the daily market report, in the mailing list, you will see that last night I said that I was predicting volume to be quite low yesterday. And it was lower than the previous days. Actually, it's the lowest, it's been in like the week. I was expecting a lot lower, judging from the volume profile, but we'll get into that a bit later. So the VIX, if we cycle through, 13.19, a bit higher than yesterday, but again, nothing really to write home about. If we look at CNBC, you'll see not a lot of news. Obviously the main markets are down. This is mostly Euro stuff, all Euro stuff actually. Let's go to the US. The S&P is a bit down, NAS is down, the Rus is down. Says the VIX is up, but with regards to yesterday's price, not price, but yesterday's VIX, it is down. It's probably just on the day. News. Are we seeing anything newsworthy, anything that may impact price action? Biden's support of Israel leaves him as isolated as Russia on the world stage, analysts say. Considering it's America, I don't think the Americans are very opposed to isolationism, and I don't think Biden is neither. Microsoft's president meet with the Chinese government to discuss. Oh yeah, I saw about this. The new, someone released. Oh yeah, it was M something. They released a new AI chip. Again, I don't think AI is going to have a huge impact on the S&P's price action. Anyway, I'm bored of this. Let's get into the charts. So, what happened yesterday? Yesterday was not an inside candle, which is amazing. You love to see it. Yesterday we opened quite high with regards to the previous day, so that means Tuesday session. We opened with a small gap, and as soon as market opened, we closed that gap, moved down, made a new low, so broke previous day low and closed pretty much on the same level. So far today, we clearly, we tested lows, and we do seem to be rejecting this. So this in part could be due to obviously news being somewhat positive, but mainly I honestly think we're still in the same. It's not. I think we are in the same range. The range hasn't moved. The range isn't moving. On the 4 hour, you guys may have remembered me drawing this yesterday. Kind of got violated here, but at the end of the day, this area of support and resistance still holds, really establishing our range. If I just go back to the daily, I just want to see if there's anything else of note. No, we're likely going to open at this price here, so that means we'll be opening in range and in value, which means no gap rules, and what that means is a boring day, a very boring day. The 1 hour, obviously, yesterday sold off. If you read the market report, you can see we sold off. Minor pullback here, minor pullback, green candle on the 1 hour chart at, what price is this? Like 45.68, 45.67. Chart wise, this level doesn't really mean anything. There's no, deeper logic behind it. If we look here, we've transacted through this price point so many times, it can hardly be described as anything worthwhile, to be fair. So I say we disregard that. Honestly, we're facing the same thing we did yesterday, where the value area of this week is almost exactly, it overlaps considerably last week's value area. So that means, of course, the perception of value from this week, comparing this week to last, hasn't changed. And if the value hasn't changed, then looking for opportunities is going to be very hard, especially for a trader like myself. I really care about where the perceived value of the asset is. And you can see that here, the perceived value of the asset has not changed because the value is the same. But, because there is a but, fortunately, we are respecting our range. So I discussed this yesterday. If I can pull up my TPO charts. And it's still true today. Look at all these value areas. They all overlap. That line is pretty horrific. It's not very straight. But you see what I mean. Value area, overlap, overlap, overlap. This was, what day was this? This was Friday. Friday moved up. Value of Friday was up here. But then Monday immediately retraced that move. And we ended up rejecting value up here. So yeah, we transacted up here, but we weren't comfortable. That's why we returned. So the perceived value, yeah, Monday was higher, Friday was higher, but it didn't hold. So it's not worth a lot. Friday's move isn't worth anything, to be honest, other than, maybe provide a bit of upside liquidity, but that's really it. All the value areas overlap. Cool. That means value has not changed. That means we can't really use, that side of market theory, if you will. So all we can use is basically just using the range limits, and for this I'd be more comfortable using the 1 hour. But yeah, you can see, I mean, it's pretty depressing, I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's pretty rough just seeing us move into to the upside. Let me make this full screen. We move up high, we fail, we move down. We reach a low, we fail, we move up. We reach a high, we fail, we move down. We reach a low, we fail, we move up. We reach a high, we fail, we move down. I mean, it does my head in to some extent. But obviously, you know, you can't pick market conditions. We'd all love nice, lovely, you know, trending days like we saw here. But unfortunately, that's not the case. I mean, if we count here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 days since our last move up that, you know, achieved something, quote unquote, if you will. Because, yeah, we moved up here, but we didn't achieve anything. So that's worth as much as it means. You know, if we don't achieve anything, then it's not worth anything. Same with today. So obviously, you know, my 11 a.m. analysis, 11 a.m. GMT, of course, showed that we were accepting lower pricing. You know, we were comfortable transacting in this lower distribution, the lower third of the day. But obviously, that's not the case anymore. We re-entered value. You know, we're probably going to open around previous day point of control. If you know what point of control means, you'll know that basically price is going to be transacting at the open exactly where it transacted the most yesterday. And that's not really going to, you know, show crazy price action. You know, price isn't going to, oh my God, we're transacting where we've transacted the most yesterday. Let's just do this kind of movement. No, you know, what it means is probably something like this is going to happen, and then we're maybe going to drift up, maybe going to drift down, but regardless, it's going to be boring, it's going to be horrible, it's just going to be fading moves, and it's just long. That's what it is, it's just long. So, you know, going back to news, nothing's happening in the news. You know, a few numbers are coming out. I know tomorrow we've got US, not jobless, non-farm payroll. Yeah, manufacturing payroll. Let me find, yeah, here we go. So that will be during the pre-market. So US unemployment rate and non-farm payroll. This will likely move price in some direction. Obviously, it depends on the numbers. I need to read a bit about this. But the expected, you know, is pretty much no change. So if there's no change, that's just going to be grey on grey on grey for the market. You know, just no sort of decisiveness from anyone. And that's what we've been seeing basically. You know, the buyers can't move price higher, the sellers can't move price lower. We fiddle in the middle. You know, we've reached a standstill. We've reached what's the word for it? The chess term. Oh well, I'll think of it. Chess term for draw. Stalemate. There we go. The market is in a stalemate, as you guys may know, as you guys may see. You know, it's not a question of, oh, I think this, I think that. Just look at it. You know, look at the chart. It's a stalemate. You know, no one's doing anything. So really, my advice for today would be, you know, fade the extremes. I mean, if we're opening bang in the middle, then you're not taking any positions in the middle. Why? Because that's gambling. Are we gamblers? No, we're traders, we're speculators. We trade when we've got an advantage. When you're right in here, you've got absolutely no advantage. You're just being an idiot and you will lose money. Or you'll win because you're gambling. It's 50-50. But, you know, your choice. You know, trade where you know you're going to win more. That's all I've really got to say. So I'm going to be waiting, you know, for opportunities at these extremes. I'm going to be looking at my delta. I'm going to be looking at my volume. I'll be looking at, where we are in regards to previous day value area, because to be honest, previous day value area is basically the weekly value area. So if we're out of that range, the chances are that we're going to move back in are pretty high, especially if we're, at the top of the structure and we're showing, secondary cues of indication that we will move back down into the value area. That's the kind of short I'll be looking at. And, obviously you flip the script. If we're at the bottom, you'll be looking for the same longs. That being said, today, again, another pretty short market preparation, but that's simply because price is literally not doing anything for us. So I'd like to thank you all for watching. Obviously, if you could like, subscribe, do all that stuff. I see we've got 2 people in here, but only 1 like on the live stream. So I am taking issue with that. But that being said, I hope you all have, safe trading, protect your downside. It's getting close to the week. Only a few weeks left before market closes for Christmas and the new year. So protect your downside, secure your wins for the year, take it easy, and hopefully you guys will be profitable. So thanks for watching.